Okay, so next up, I'm thinking to introduce an entity death check between the blocking animation check and turn taking. When the animation stops and we're allowed to progress to the turn queue again, before we do that, we check for any enemies that have been defeated. Essentially, they would have been defeated by an attack in the previous turn. And if they have been defeated, then we play some sort of like death animation. I guess we can just say check for entity death, entities, components. And if the action animation is playing here, we return because we block turn progression. Look at attack real quick. So this happens right here, right? We're handling entity death right here in the player case right now, and only the player case for now. So if the nested entity view, if its health has gone to 0 or below 0 after a player has attacked it, then we delete the non-player entity. This removes the entity from the turn queue. This marks the entity slot as free in the ECS. And then therefore the entity will no longer participate in collision, will no longer participate in turns, it will no longer be rendered, but I will still be playing an attack animation over it. I just get rid of that there. And we go to check for entity death. Entity died, false. If nested EV health prop remains less than or equal to 0, delete non-player entity, assert okay. Entity died, true. The whole idea is that we want to return true here if we detect that something is gone. Right? We don't necessarily want to delete it just yet, because we probably want to play like a death animation. I think we have a new state. Basically, the state is dying. React to entity death. If we are valid and our health property remaining is less than or equal to 0, then I think what we do is say EV state prop is dying. Entity dying, I don't know. We'll call it entity dying. So when we look at update states here, we'll yoink this out of here. Update states is now going to take turns, and that's going to be a ring buffer S64 case dying. If the animation timer has time left on it, then the action animation is playing is true and we break out. Otherwise, we don't do any state transition or anything like that. We just delete ourselves. Yes. React to entity death. We need to set an animation timer on this guy. EV state prop. So this is going to be EV animation timer prop left seconds is going to be equal to the animation death cooldown, I guess. We'll make it dramatic for now. We'll say it's 1 second. Dying is not a member of entity state. That is true. I forgot to add that to entity state here. That's not alphabetized, but that's okay. Complete. It's marked as complete, but the following is missing in 273. Right, this is get animation tile index, and this is important. We are going to have to introduce some animations here. I think in render for now, we'll just modulate the opacity. That will just tell us that it's working, right? But we're not going to call this guy yet, so we'll just say case dying is also through. Render entity facing direction. This is a very load-bearing render call. I think now, when you say else if EV state prop is dying, we are going to set the alpha mod on Atlas. We're going to set it to some alpha, which we will modulate, and then we need to restore it down here, 2x5. Just force set the alpha down there. This is just a linear blend, or a linear fade. Timer prop left, animation attack cooldown. It's going to be death cooldown. So I attack once, I attack twice, and you fade. Okay, so that's super dramatic, right? That's like, obviously I'll tune the timing, and we'll have some cool, sprite. I don't know, some like, they're ghosts. They'll burst into a cloud of vapor or something like this. So I want to look at the turn queue real quick, right? So attack once, attack twice, and he stays in the turn queue. Yeah, because he's still alive as an entity, but then eventually he goes away, then he gets removed out of the turn queue and everything's fine. Now I also want to look at the health bar, right? So attack once, attack twice, boom. The health bar stays above that entity's head. It goes away really quickly because the health bar, the lifetime of the health bar is the attack animation lifetime right now. But we can also tune that to just have it stick around. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Have a good rest of the day and peace.